So I'm just recording it. So webassessor for salesforce.com. So go to this link, webassessor.com/salesforce. Um, so this is my login. Very long back I've logged in here. Oh God, correct. So to register for an exam, you have to go here and
Okay.
so which exams you are registering here? Two things we have.
Mm-hmm.
So one is Salesforce certified administrator and this advanced administrator. I think we have to go on the basic exam. On-site proctored, online proctored. Two things we have. So if you want to take your exam in your home, so then we go for online proctored. If you want to go to respective centers and then you want to book it, so then it's on-site proctored exam.
Okay.
So why it is not giving for me is because I've already cleared this exam. So that is the reason it is not allowing me to. You're
Check it.
currently you're currently scheduled for this. What it says, TC. So you may have currently scheduled this exam or you have already passed this exam. So since I've already passed this exam, so there's no any book slot I'm getting it here. So let's see for
Okay.
advance. I didn't take it in advance. On-site proctored exam. I'm just registering here. The same you have to do for Salesforce Certified Administrator. So if I just click on register here, so it gives me the exam centers which is near for me. Let's say if I just choose some location, this is in India, so for the Bangalore. Um, so you go to the select and then you choose some timings. So maybe sometime random timing you're choosing. So this particular exam centers and the date and what time you want to take it. So those are your booking, and then you select, you acknowledge and select. So then it is go for a shopping cart, and you have to add the amount here. So for India, it is like 200 plus 36. This is like tax we have. So
Really? I didn't get any tax. It was just 200 for me.
it's India, right?
Oh,
For
oh.
anything and everything, they want a tax.
$200? That's too expensive in India.
Yeah, so 200 plus $36 as a tax.
Murthy, you put the code in the coupon voucher code and then
Okay.
do the submit. It'll detect and it'll say like $100.
Okay. No tax, right?
Yeah, I mean for me, I live in Oregon, so no tax. I don't know about other people.
No, for US, no tax. It is, don't worry.
Okay.
This is maybe in other countries, like say you take Pakistan or Sri Lanka, we now have it. In India, for right now, every certification exam, they recently this rule has been brought up. So before Modi government, we are taking free, and now after that, for each and everything, we have tax now. Anyway, this tax, whatever we are trying to pay, if you are an individual user, then it is a problem. Like say, if I'm learning new and I don't have any support, so then I have to pay the whole amount. If not, the company is reimbursing this. So for people who are reimbursing, getting from the company, so it is their benefit. But people like they take their own exam and they learn on self-learn. For them, they have to pay it. I mean, no one is reimbursing for them. It's all go on a chance. If it is passed, good. If it is gone, then again they have to reappear for the exams. So that's all, Mati. So you have to enter the option code here and then submit. So your exam center for the particular location and so on so date time would be slot booked.
Okay. So
Okay.
60 means 45. 1 hour 45 minutes.
Yeah. So what are the assessment that you have taken? So that will show results here. Or if you come back to the scheduled exams, it will show the scheduled exams here. So which
Okay.
exam when you schedule, and here is the place you're going to launch the exam. If you are on site, like for example, online proctor you have taken, that is something that in your home only you're taking it.
Mm-hmm.
Then a launch button would be there. You have to purposely, I mean, you have to launch it.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you are taking online proctor exam, so there are a couple of rules and regulations you have to follow them. So make sure your home is like doesn't have any digital things like display, computers. So you shouldn't have anything. So it's a flat
Oh,
room. So make sure no, kind of like an empty room also is fine. And proper
hmm.
window lightnings, everything should be there. And the camera should be focused on you. And they may ask you to rotate in 360 and ask you to show the room how it is. If they found
Oh,
anything like a display, they will suspend the exam. And then again, you have to ask sorry for that. And again, you have to take the exam. The worst part is like online to on-site, you cannot convert this. This is a crazy one.
oh, but if
Maybe
you suspend, then they'll again use
they,
the
they,
same amount, right?
they will give from wherever it is stopped. From there, you can continue on. No issues with that. But they just stop the exam or suspend the exam uh, because of that rules and regulation you didn't follow.
Okay. So in the middle of the exam, they'll ask to show the rule?
Yeah,
Oh,
someone is like properly monitoring you.
okay, okay,
It's just like you went to an exam center, someone is monitoring you, like that it is.
okay, okay, okay.
So more than an onset, you go and you watch it. I mean,
Hmm.
more than you go to an onset, no proper testing centers, you go and right there. And so their monitor, more than that, it will be here.
Okay.
I mean, there it is like 5 to 10% if they see you. Here it will be 90% they will see you. They may ask one time or twice to share the screen around.
Oh,
So that will be first of all the questions would be crazy, and then on top of this, these guys will ask this all.
ah,
And I'm saying like if you are very serious about the question answering them, and this guy suddenly asks them, please show the screen around and top, ceiling, bottom, whatever it is. You would be pissed off like why this is so many questions.
hmm.
And time is keeping on. I mean that is gonna keep running on. And if you are running with the time shortage, then that will be a problem again. You can ask them, hey, please go. I won't take exam. So they job they will do it. So
Oh,
that's a type of things that in on online exams. Maybe someone is like in your home, they're coming in and then they give, or they're just knocking the door for some purpose, emergency purpose. So you turn around, right? So they think that okay, you're asking help from someone. So again, they'll ask you to turn the screen. So this all would be there. So should be 10 times careful in online exams.
oh,
And after
great.
you clear the exam, so you will get whatever the exam releases that you pass or certification that you take. It will all be like it is given here pass.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the what is the Criterion website. So webassessor.com/salesforce. So if you are doing at the very beginning, so you should be doing a sign up. So what should be in your profile? I'll give you. So your name as well, email ID, and
Hmm.
your name, phone number, address, and so which particular account you are dealt with. So give that particular email ID. So that you're gonna give here. So and otherwise the company and other information you're gonna give it here.
Okay.
But that is, I mean, this is all the few information that we have. It's okay, fine. Verification opt-in, yes, you're gonna say your role focus on primarily on. So on which sector you are into. So those things you're gonna give. Otherwise, we are decent. So these are the basic informations they expect you to fill out. Just like in a sign
Hmm.
up, you give them. That's it. So all your exams receipts you can do. I mean, see here. In order to, let's say, some exams you have taken, you wanted a receipt of that. So you can print them for reimbursing in your company. For that may be helpful to you. If you lost or if the emails doesn't receive, this is a place to receive the receipts. Okay, I think even Tushira got registered with sorry, Jamsil registered.
Yeah, she did it
Okay, so what about online or on-site?
online. I mean, in Oregon, I didn't have any centers.
So you also have taken online.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what. So make sure about the rules and regulations. Whatever they give in a paper, they may be more stricter than that also. And I don't know whether it is for non-Indians or they have more closer watch for India. I mean, for Americans, I don't know. If you will not stay locally. But however, these creating websites can monitor from India or from any region it could be. So they will monitor for sure. Um, they can ask you questions also, like or ask the no, that would be there for 100% sure, because twice I given exam. So so one time they saw me the display in my back, so they have suspended the exam. So this can happen. So be careful on that. So make sure your rooms are only for the exams.
So if you like my desk have the monitors, right? So two monitors will be there, but laptop is attached. Then also they'll ask to.
Oh, then they will suspend you. The moment they
Uh,
say they don't ask any questions, that's a crazy one. I don't know.
uh, oh, nothing. Empty room is the best.
See, your table you can have it, but you should not have a display.
Oh, okay, okay, got it.
And so whatever the wires that you're connecting to laptop also matters for them. So it detects. So what type of that wires are you connected? Your mouse, and you're connected to headphone, or you connected to something else. It will easily identify. So those detecting systems, so they also have it. So make
Hmm.
sure. I mean, so what they do is, okay, there's no any extension devices been connected to some other a TV or something,
Hmm.
because we have from a laptop we can have extension other monitors, right?
Hmm.
So those things also the systems will detect. I mean, they're very smart in terms of all this. So when I'm saying absolutely no screen, so no displays, monitors, nothing. So your laptop, mouse, and headphone, and those only things are connected with chargers. So three for label connections can be. So if they see something like a pen drive or so make sure your laptop has only minimum connections. Or else even they can ask why this device is connected. What is it used for? That question also can arise. So whichever I've had given example, so that time it was a turned off TV. It was, but they were looking big. They turned off TV. I was saying that it's a TV, but so no, according to the rules, so we should not see any connective devices or monitors for a display. So that is violating the rules. So this has been it. Okay. So just be careful on that if you're taking online exams. Yes, you can take it. So people are taking it easy way. But just like a few tips I'm saying. We may not know about what no in a room what are the things that we hold and what not. That should not cause us. So then it will be negative experience for us. That's it. So today I'm gonna take about the triggers. SOSL, I think it's a small content I've prepared it. So I'll just make a video and then set it out. It just all talks about how do you make a search, and that is not related to our triggers or in advanced classes. So this small video I can make it out. It's an half an hour video for SOSL. I can send you over. Mm, is it okay? It just clearly explains like how do you query, what to do, and where it is used. So those things I'll
Okay.
record and send it out.
So what you explained last? I think on I didn't join on.
SOQL on SOQL functions I've taken.
Okay, okay.
So we till now we were dealing with SOQL statements and other things. We're doing it top-down approach, bottom approach, traversing, custom object, standard object, all that we seen. So in the last class, what we did is, so Tushar asked a question saying that, hey, if I want to do a select star from table name, so then how do you do it? So select star, we don't have as of now, but we wanted to get all the fields right. So we need to use a dynamic apex query. So how do you use the dynamic apex? Something like this: schema.get describe as object, and which object that you want. So based on that as a subject type, we are trying to get all the fields. So based on the fields, whatever you get, so we are trying to frame a query here. So dynamically select all the fields are constructed here, and then from account. So irrespective of 100 fields or 500 fields you have an account, so the whole bunch has been queried here. So this way, what we are doing is we don't have any issues. Tomorrow you deactivate a field or so maybe delete a field or rename a field, so that will not impact here. If at all that particular field as a query that you have written here, select name, account name, account number, site, and so on for the 50 fields you refer here. You're manually entering it and then you're querying them. So one of the fields that you want to delete, if you try to delete that, will say that hey, this particular field is referenced in that particular class. First, you need to modify that class, and only then you can delete that particular field. So this will be dependency issues. So in order to avoid that, I think so doing this way would get us the latest dynamic fields, whatever is present in account. So all that will be framed. So tomorrow you change API name, we don't care. So tomorrow 10 fields, we don't care. So there's no issues in going back to a program. You can modify such fields. So this is automatic. So for the framing this, how to do is we're going from an object and we're going there, getting the fields map list. From there, we're trying to query, putting it into for loop. So this is a for each loop. We are framing this. So this is absolutely we call as dynamic apex because you don't write in a single fields here. So automatically went frame. So that way we call as dynamic apex. So query that you pass as a string, you get a list of account. The same way select a name from account if you do, how list of records are getting. So this is something like we is passing by through a string to a query, and this is returning a list of records. So generally this type of database query or query locator would be used in a batch process in order to get more number of records. I think get database get query locators up to 50 million records it can query. So we should be good enough when we try to use batches. Then we jumped into functions and we saw some min max. I think let me open this. And I just put here or not. Yeah, put here. See, aggregate results. So when you want to do sum based on which account you wanted to deal with, so then we can get it. So this query is absolutely doing a roll-up summary activity on opportunity for each account ID. For example, let's say account Acme, and they have 10 opportunities, and the 10 opportunities are holding some amount. Each opportunity is holding some amount. So what we're doing is based on the account ID, let's say Acme record account ID. So there are 10 opportunities. Each opportunity we are calculating them and we are grouping them and finally say for this account ID, this is the whole amount. So how exactly Rollup Summary is doing, the same way we're doing it here by this using this query. Rollup Summary also does the same. It goes, finds for the relative account, their opportunity and sum of them all and then update it back to the account saying that this is your all the child records count. The same way this does this. There, if you have a master detail relationship, yes, of course you can do it. What if you have a lookup relationship? So you cannot have a master detail type of a query there. So of course, so we have to use aggregate query like this, and then we have to get them. Are you getting? So using this aggregate query, what I've done is, let's say expression 0 means that will give you sum. So whenever you use functions, so they will be printed in format of expression. So if you have again comma maximum, then it's an expression 2. Then you have let's say average, then expression like 1, 2, 3. For them it is 0, 1, 2. So each and every expression that is denotes here. So why we do is ar dot get everything. So this expression would be printed in such a way that like how do you do a map? Get of this value means you do get of this key if you put you get a value, right? Like there it is. So they will be in a string pattern. So if you do this, so they'll get the exact value. Then you can utilize them. And I wanted to also get the account ID. Which account ID what we're trying to do. So by this way we got this. Just I'll try to print them. So I think we'll get the results. Hmm. So this is a query that we already had. Let me execute. You see this for this particular account ID, so they have 1,75,000 as the value. Oh, I think we have put a maximum here for each account ID. Who's the maximum value they're showing it? If it turn out to be maximum to some, oh no, this is some, sorry. I think the value which I've given here is max value. Sorry for this. Okay, anyway. So what we're trying to do is we're just finding a sum of the amount for all the opportunities under this every account ID they're grouping by. So it is absolutely each account is holding how much of the sum value. So they're showing it. Of course, if you have doubt, what you have to do is go to here, copy this ID, go to respective account, and then you have to see them whether your expected result for that record is same. So what is this? 1 lakh. So go to the detailed record, see in the Rollup Summary. So it says $1 lakh. How this $1 lakh they got is this is just went by related and went to their opportunities. So there they have given lakh. So like how many number of opportunities you are holding. So they're all cumulative values is this Rollup Summary. The same thing it is printed here. So we also writing a query like select account ID, sum of account from opportunity. That means all the opportunities and group by the respective account ID. So if you have a 10 account IDs with the same opportunity, so then they all grouping it up and then they're doing a sum and then displaying like this. So any questions here?
No good.
Okay. So then when you want to do a custom lookup, sorry, custom rollup summary type of what is it logic for a lookup relationship, of course we have to end up using aggregate results. So that's the only way to crack the rollup summary activity for a lookup relationship. Otherwise, we're good there. So this is another best practice code which I want to tell you. So you can write queries like this. Select name from account, limit to. So these results would be directly putting into the account and we can start using the logic of the account record. So here what it is, so if you have queried a record like this and you already put into a list and then list variables you're using here, if you think, so that list variable you can use it anywhere in the program. I mean within that method. But doing this way, only for this particular for loop it will help you out. Because required results are being given instantly to the each record to process here. This is a for each loop. Right hand side always is a list of records you process, and the left hand side always is a single record you process. So it is more or less like the same way that we write here. So list of account ACC list is equal to, and then you do this. The same list what we send it here is the ACK list that you can send here. The whole thing that ACK list you can send here. So the bunch of records it is trying to process for each and record to the next line. So that means on the right hand side it will be always like in a bulk it will be the left hand side always single records you have to process and the data type should match. Okay, for this is an exact query. There is no we know things. So after this for loops also you want to use something in the next upcoming lines using this ACK list. Yes, of course you can use it. But the problem is if you use this way, these queries are returned as only here within this for loop. Then that's all. So if you want to do another account process, again you have to query them. So make sure if something these queries are account or like this account records are repeatedly you are doing something process here. So then this is not the good way to do it because you would write too many times of circle queries in each every for loop or doing something activity. Let's say only one time, only for this particular for loop. So this query is useful. Then of course you can do this way. If not too many times our circle queries are queried, so you can use in the for loop like this and then you can finish it up. Of course, this ACK list is being used in multiple places if you think, then better to have a separate queried variable and use them everywhere. So that is the two difference you can know when people you are seeing with the this type of for loop or this type of query. or this type of query where it is exactly to be used. So that is a suggestion. But of course, this is the best practice code. Which is not best practice code is something that you copy like this. So a for loop should not have any circle queries inside the for loop. This is not absolutely inside the for loop. It's on the line which you start there when you are processing and then you're sending out the records. So this is absolutely a best practice code, but not this one. This is absolutely not a best practice code. You should never put it into a for loop. So inside a for loop, why we don't say is because if you have 1,000 record here, so this record would have a select query of 1,000 times. Of course, 150 times only, sorry, 100 times only you can issue a circle queries in a program or a single transaction. 150 talks about DML statements, like say insert, update, delete. So 150 times you can use it. So if you have an insert here, insert something like this ABC, whatever you are doing it, so DML statement. So if this query is having 1,000 records, so 1,000 times this DML statement will be running in a loop. So of course, after the 150th statement, they will fire a question saying that limit exceptions. So they'll break the system there only. So be careful with having DML or a for loop inside the sorry, having a circle query inside the for loop. So that's the things we have to do it. And when you start using the list and doing a collection of records you're processing, so they all say that okay, you are writing a bulkified code. The bulkified meaning itself says is you can process one or more record, but in an efficient way, so that doesn't harm systems and it is not a slow processing value which you're doing it. It can process one record or a bulk records or a millions of records tomorrow you give it, so it can accommodate that logic. So that is what we say is bulkified code. So in interviews also they will ask you some question they're going to give it, and then they say that please bulkify the code. So they are expecting for a not for one record, they're expecting for a multiple records. So your logic should work with. Okay, I think these are the things in the last class we discussed. So today what I wanted to go on was onto the triggering. Mm. So what I'll do is so let me stop recording for this. So we'll join again. So this particular session, whatever it is for maybe let's say for webassessor and plus recap of last class, we'll do it. So we'll have a fresh copy for the triggers, so that our videos also would make sense. Trigger because or else we're talking this something and we're saying trigger. Don't make nonsense. Anyway, 5 minutes there
Okay.
to close this. So we'll stop it now and again we'll rejoin. And that recording I'll purely add it as a triggers. Fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.